Yes, boys, the cravings you get for sugar and junk food is not necessarily your fault. They are designed by horrible little scientists in their lab to make you addicted. And this is what this video talks about from the BBC, and I think it's quite interesting. So we're gonna have a little bit of a reaction video today. So you can go down to this video and put it in like 2x speed if you want, just to get through it quicker. And let's go.
Even if they want to cut down, even if they know it's killing them, they find they can't stop.
My name's Chris Van Tulliken. I'm an NHS doctor.
This is the guy that went on the 80% ultra processed diet. So
scientist.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
I'm part of a growing group of doctors and academics who are increasingly worried about the effect that the global food system is having on all of us.
Absolutely, it's terrible. I mean, like, the standard food pyramid that we're told in school is absolutely atrocious. It tells us that the majority of our diet should be grains, which is what was peasant food back in the day, and that red meat is terrible, even though we've been eating that for millions of years, and that you can have a little bit of sugar every now and then, a little bit of red 40 and poisonous chemicals every now and then. That's fine.
When it comes to obesity, the way that we've understood the problem is it's a failure of willpower. People are just making bad choices, they're somewhat lazy, it's basically their fault.
Yes, but I believe when you are young, you're very malleable. So when perhaps you're young right now in like high school or whatever, or younger years, even back in like, you know, when you're in primary school or, you know, elementary school, man, or when you're very, very young, the habits that your parents pass down to you, your parents might, you know, give you terrible food or whatever. I'm very lucky to have been given healthy food when I was younger. So my features have developed properly, right? Like lots of people have development issues and they get like things like ADHD and all these things. Those are caused by food. If you don't eat the correct food, you won't look how you're supposed to. Your genetics will be altered in different ways. It's like if a mother smokes or something, or vapes before they have a kid, or drinks alcohol. That's going to have an effect on the baby, right? The same thing happens when you are growing up. So until you're like 18, 21, whatever, until you've stopped growing, your body is going to adapt to the foods that it's been given. So people who, for example, this isn't diet, but people who breathe through their mouth, they often have recessed jaws. So instead of their jaw going out like this, it's like really recessed inwards. You might have it, right? And that's not a genetic thing. It's a genetic thing that has been like, it has been altered by the way you breathe. You're supposed to breathe through your nose all the time. You're never supposed to breathe through your mouth. So just don't be a mouth breather from now on if you can. Try it, and just over time, you will learn to breathe through your nose. Even when you're running, exercise and stuff, always breathe through your nose when possible. So that is something that can change like the trajectory of how you live and how you breathe and how you look and everything. So food is the same. Food is the same, the way we chew our food. It's like how our jaws develop. It's how our teeth develop. Like people with nutritional deficiencies at a young age often have crooked teeth. Everything, the way your eyes work, you don't have enough vitamin A from things like beef liver, not carrots. That's beta carotene. You have to convert that. Most people can't convert that. When you have the correct nutrition for vitamin A, like you have a lot of vitamin A, then you don't need glasses, right? People who need glasses often have vitamin A deficiencies and they don't know it because they think they're getting carrots and they're eating carrots and they think, oh, we're getting loads of vitamin A, and it's the wrong kind. So
this is American government data.
So what I'm saying is basically it's not necessarily your fault until you get to the point in life where, you know, you're 18, you're an adult onwards, and you can make your own choices for food. But even then, you have been told like the main narrative that, oh, it's fine to just eat whatever you want. But, you know, Mackey's on the weekend, that's fine. And so I'm here to change that for you because you're not supposed to be eating those things.
Of all different ages, the different lines are different ages for obesity. What you see is between 1960 and 1975, there's a fairly steady percentage of obesity in the population. But in the mid-1970s...
Back in, I think it was like 1920 or something, it was like early 1900s, there was a fat person who was just like overweight. I think it was like 300 pounds, you know, like 200 kilos or something. And he was on like a stage, he was put in like a circus essentially for people to go, oh my God, that is crazy, because it's not what we're supposed to look like, right? People who are obese, that's not what we're supposed to look like as humans. We're supposed to be like this slim sort of figure, little bit of muscle on us, but just not overweight. We look fat for a reason, right? It's because of the food that we are eating.
Starts going up in all of the groups simultaneously. Now, if you're saying willpower is responsible, what you're proposing is that all of these groups of people simultaneously lost moral responsibility, and that's not plausible. something else.
Absolutely.
happened.
And just before he goes into it, there is literally hormone signaling that gets messed up when you eat carbs. So you know carbs like sugars, whatever. Say you eat some bread or you eat some potatoes or you eat, a cake or something. When you spike your blood glucose, so when you eat sugar, you eat carbs, it spikes your glucose levels, and then your insulin brings that down. It's a hormone to regulate your blood sugar, because if you have like more than, I think it's 4 grams of blood glucose, glucose in your blood at one time, you die, and if it goes to like 3 grams, you die. So it needs to be at this stable level all the time. But when you spike it up, you need insulin to bring it back down. But when insulin goes up, it blocks a hormone called leptin, and leptin tells you that you are full. So when you eat carbs, you literally do not know when you are full. And that's why you can keep eating, keep eating. You know that chocolate that you got for Christmas or something? You can just eat the whole bag in one. There's sweets just all in one. You can eat like a ton of fruit even, like fruit's the same, it acts the same. You can eat a ton of fruit and just never feel full. It's for a reason. If I put a steak in front of you right now and you ate that, you might not even be able to eat the whole thing. If it was like a 10-ounce ribeye or something, you might not be able to eat that, right? Because it's satiating for a reason.
To our food in the mid-1970s to make it irresistible to people.
My name's John Ruff, and I've spent 40 years in the food industry across 7 different countries. Companies spend a lot of time
Like, come on now. This is what's in our food, like, seriously.
optimizing all aspects of their product. The flavor, the taste, the texture. People want that.
Yeah, they have I can't remember what the exact word is for it, but it's where they get the perfect amount of sugar and fat together to make it, the bliss point. That's it. It's called the bliss point. So they combine, scientists like these weird little not him, the other ones in there. They design with like little pipettes of different chemicals and stuff like Red 40 or whatever. They decide where the bliss point is between sugar and fat and combine it in things like McDonald's to make you just like, it's like a release of dopamine. Dopamine just like, it's like the reward chemical. It basically tells you like, oh my God, it's so amazing. And subconsciously you're like, oh my God, I need this all the time.
That product to be as good, if not better, than the competitor, so it will sell more. We use trained sensory panels to give us ratings. Is it squishy? Is it hard? Is it soft? Is it crunchy? And that's very much how the food industry operates.
One thing many people don't realize is that factory processing changes the textural properties of food. An interesting fact about soft food is you're not chewing it as much. That actually short circuits the normal satiety mechanisms that you would have if you were actually chewing food properly. So you're bypassing a normal mechanism that tells you you're full.
That's interesting. I do think there's something to be said about that. Like, we used to eat about 90% meat in the wild. We just like hunt megafauna, like, you know, boars and deers and mammoths and stuff, and we kill them and just eat them. That's where we get the majority of our diet, our calories from, even though calories don't really apply to humans, just heat energy. And that was all tough food. Like, if you can imagine biting into a piece of meat, you'd have to like chew it off like that. Like, we had things like knives and forks, you know, when we started developing and whatever. We had little tools to cut them apart. But even when you put it in your mouth, you've got to chew it. You know, you get like that bit of gristly fat that you've got to chew and get and like grind up. That's why our teeth are made the way they are, like the ones at the back. The ones at the front are made for just sort of like tearing the meat away. And then the ones at the back are made for grinding and chewing them up. It's designed to eat meat. And obviously now we're not getting that because we've got things like chicken nuggets and everything that are so like soft that it's just not the way our mouths develop. So that's why people have a lot of teeth problems and everything, including with the vitamin deficiencies.
Playing around with the texture of a food, making it softer, tricks that normal satiety or fullness mechanism. Clearly there's an opportunity there for some kind of scurrilous behavior in making food softer so that people will eat more and therefore you sell more of your product.
So much of the packaged food that we eat is incredibly soft.
Also, everything's wrapped in plastic, like almost every single. In fact, I want you to do this right now. Look around your room or wherever you're sitting, whatever. How much plastic can you see? For me, this is plastic. My clothes are plastic. This like mouse mat that I'm using is plastic. My camera is plastic. My phone is plastic. Every single thing in my room is basically plastic. And your skin absorbs everything it touches. It literally absorbs everything. So when you put your hand on your phone, you're absorbing a little bit of the plastic, the microplastics, into your skin. And when you're eating all the foods that come in plastic bags, the plastic goes into the foods and then you ingest the foods. So especially things like from now on, I never want you to use a microwave again. That's like one easy tip you can just follow for the rest of your life. Never use a microwave because you heat all of the plastic into the food. And that's not good. We don't want a ton of plastic in our bowls because that's where we can get it, right?
Kids love these.
Kids love these, of course they do.
You don't typically think of this as being a soft food because it's a bit crunchy. But actually, after that initial crunch, you can just crush it with your tongue, right? It's got no resistance at all.
That's interesting. I never thought about that. Yeah.
In terms of the calories per gram,
Calories don't apply.
it's got way more calories than even a very fatty burger. So the softness and the energy.
Well, a burger's good for you. It just depends on what's in the burger. If it's just meat, I eat that every day. But then you got the bun with like a ton of seed oils. It's normally cooked in seed oils. That's the problem.
density mean that you consume.
You know that meme that people show, like, why is this healthy? And it's just like, you know, some meat. It's got the lettuce and the burger bun and everything, and then they put it together in like a McDonald's burger, and they say, and that's unhealthy. What's the difference? The difference is the McDonald's burger is cooked in seed oils. It's got about 500 ingredients in the bun. It's got tomato ketchup with a ton of sugar in. That's the problem.
Incredibly quickly. And there's a food industry term for these very light, puffy foods that melt in the mouth. It's called vanishing caloric density. Gone. The thing that makes us eat a lot isn't just what we do to the food. It's also about logos, marketing, branding, the box the food comes in.
We make everything look colourful for a reason. Like, for example, if you had raw meat in the wild, which we can eat raw meat, I've eaten raw meat before, and it's more nutritionally dense when it is uncooked. A steak, if you just like look up a steak right now, you can imagine a really red steak. That is so appetizing because it's so colourful. Whereas a lot of vegetables, they don't look appetizing, even though they are like a little bit colourful, I guess. They don't really look appetizing, especially in its raw, wild form. You know, if you saw like broccoli doesn't actually exist, it's man-made. But if you just like looked at some grass in the wild, it doesn't look appetizing to us, right? Fruit has been crossbred to be bigger and juicier, but if you see like an actual original like banana or something, or some strawberries in the wild, they look nothing like they do in the shops, right? They are like really tiny, they're not that bright, they're a little bit bitter, they got a ton of seeds in. The only thing that actually in the wild looks appealing to us is meat. And then obviously companies are trying to replicate that by making everything really colourful on like boxing and branding.
Eating is a
I'm going to speed this up, it's slow.
sensory experience. There's the look of the food, there's the smell of the food, there's the feeling of the food on your fingers. Even the sound of food matters. When you open a fizzy soda, you've got two noises. You've got the click and the tear. Sound engineers and manufacturers work really hard to get that sound just right, and that's sonic branding. Many companies have asked me to work on sonic branding for them. And I think I can mention when I was working with Kellogg, they said, ooh, what's sonic branding? And I said, you invented this.
Kellogg's actually, the inventor of Kellogg's, like Mr. Kellogg or whatever. The reason he designed his company to make like these breakfast cereals that are made of grains, the reason he designed it is to stop young boys from masturbating. I kid you not, go look it up. And he designed the cereal specifically to lower the testosterone of young men, young boys, so that they wouldn't do that. And now it's sold to everyone and people eat it as breakfast.
As children, the experience of lifting a bowl to their ear. And what are they listening for? Snap, crackle, and pop. That's sonic branding at its best, and that's the original.
There's a lot of competition out there, and food companies make their money by the amount of
often the BBC are like, oh my god, red meat's terrible, and they probably still do believe that, but this video is actually quite good, I rate it.
consume from them. So there's a stomach share that they're fighting for, and there are hours in the day in between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What happens between those hours? They want us to snack.
Absolutely, we shouldn't eat that much. Like, we should just eat a couple of times a day. If you think about back to our great ancestors, what would they do? They'd go out and hunt in the morning, kill an animal, kill a boar, whatever, bring it back to the tribe, and then at the end of the day, they just feast. They probably have one meal, maybe two if they were lucky, and that's it. Now we eat all throughout the day. We're eating like every couple of hours, if that. especially when you get into like gym training and everything. They used to, like, that's what I used to do. I mean, I still go to the gym, but like they always told us to eat about 10 meals a day or something to try and get all the calories and the macros and whatever. Optimize for nutrition, optimize for what we used to do, and you'll realize that actually that's not what we're supposed to be doing, because the digestive process is the biggest process in the body. So if you're doing that all day, your body is just constantly being taxed. So just be as mindful about that as possible. You can skip breakfast, you can skip lunch, whatever works for you. You just need to eat bigger meals in less frequent amount of time. So larger quantities, less frequently.
Up, and this is what you have. Snack number 1.
Oh
Breakfast
God,
shake.
I think I tried, I used to try one of these. What was it? It was like breakfast and go, I don't know. I tried this honeycomb flavored protein shake. Oh my God, it was disgusting.
Ultra processed. This is heavily marketed for you to have on the go. Do not sit down. Do not take time to crunch through something. Snack number 2 of the day. It's empty calories. Energy dense, nutrient poor.
And I used to think that was brunch bar. I used to think they were healthy because they're just advertised as being healthy. They're not.
Midday, you're starting to get a little bit peckish, and what do you have? Veggie straws. This is a good example of a health
Soy
claim
boy.
snacking product. Whereas before we would have had food, actual food, now we are marketed into believing that this is actually a healthy replacement. Some snacking products have now been made to
Grenade
be
bar, I
linked.
think that is. I mean, the protein is there, but it's obviously being degraded by all the other chemicals in there. So just drink some milk, eat some meat, and you'll get about 10 times the amount of protein.
With being physically active. So after the gym, I have a high protein, low sugar bar instead of having a healthier option.
How do they make it taste good if it's got low sugar? Lab-made chemicals.
You finish having dinner and you have these snacks that are sold to you as more to share, where in fact you can just finish them watching the TV by yourself. I do like
You
them.
know those grab bags and whatever. Like, nobody shares them. Buy about 3 per person. Come on now.
I cannot stop eating them.
Right, okay, can you stop eating this? Like, you're telling us to stop eating it, and then you're eating it. Like, come on now. I practice what I preach. I just had 5 eggs and some milk. I've literally got it with me. A2 milk.
And I literally can't. Oh my God.
See, that is ridiculous. It's addiction. It's literally addiction.
One of the biggest problems with this kind of food is that so many of us struggle to stop eating it.
Hi, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here today to speak with you on my research that looks at parallels between addictive substances and ultra-processed food.
When we look at the sorts of foods that trigger those key diagnostic indicators of addiction, it's really clear what it's not. It's not minimally processed foods like fruits or vegetables or beans or lean meats like chicken breast. It's really
Yeah, we need
processed
fatty meat, please.
foods. It's chocolate, it's ice cream, it's pizza. It's foods that don't exist in nature.
Absolutely. I mean, foods that don't exist in nature, we wouldn't eat that in nature. We wouldn't cook this in whatever you've cooked it in nature, unless it was butter. We wouldn't use, I think it's got a bit of pepper on there, we wouldn't eat that in nature. So be very specific about what you're talking about here, please, because we wouldn't eat lean meat in nature. We would eat fatty cuts of meat because we run off of energy, we run off of fat as our energy, not carbs.
Or lean meats like chicken breast.
We wouldn't eat apples in nature. We wouldn't eat whatever like these lentil-y things are in nature. The only thing we would eat in nature is fatty meat. 90% of our diet was fatty meat. Occasionally like a nut if we could find it anywhere, but they didn't really exist. Like for example, if you wanted some mushrooms or some vegetables, everything was poisonous, everything would kill us. Fruits we consume seasonally, but very little amounts of fruit.
It's really processed foods.
See, that is, that burger right there is...
It's really processed.
That is the healthiest thing out of everything. But what's interesting is all these studies, I mean, it looks kind of like fake meat, I don't know, but say that's like an actual burger, it's like 100% beef patty or whatever. People would eat this and then they say, oh my God, it's the red meat that's causing the issue. No, it's not. It's the fake plastic cheese, it's the bun, it's the fries that go with it. It's not the red meat that's causing the issue. We've been eating that for millions of years, but they just combine it all into one and say, oh my God, it's red meat that's terrible, because they need an enemy. The sugar companies need an enemy so they can keep selling you their products, because there's not much money to be made in animal products.
Processed foods. It's chocolate, it's ice cream, it's pizza. It's foods that don't exist in nature. The potency and the reward power of these ultra-processed foods can trigger an addictive response that leads them to consume these in such a compulsive way that even if they want to cut down, even if they know it's killing them, they find they can't stop.
Imagine you're trying to cut down on ultra-processed food or avoid it altogether. a start, it might be the only food you can afford, and that is true for millions.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I can go to Five Guys and get something about 3 times as expensive as some meat.
But it's everywhere.
It's just convenient, that's the thing. It's just convenient.
And they're marketed by some of the smartest people on Earth to be irresistible. So if someone is watching this and they are struggling with their weight, with diet-related disease, I just want to reach out and grab them and go, this is not your fault. It is not you. It is the food.
It is, but you can change that. It's the food. The problem is the food and the companies for me, but I still got out of it. I don't eat that way anymore. You don't have to eat that way anymore. So while yes, it is the sugar companies and everything that's the problem, you can still acknowledge that and change yourself. You don't need the food industry to change. Like, hopefully one day I can make the food industry change, but for now it's not going to change. It's going to keep getting worse. So what you need to do is stop worrying about what they're making. Just don't invest in what they're making because you know it's morally bad. Make the right choice for yourself. And obviously it's not easy. It takes a long time. It took me years to get to this point, but you can do it. You can do it. So don't let people like this say, oh, it's not your fault. It's not, but you can still change it.
The Food and Drink Federation declined our request for an interview but provided this statement. Food and drink manufacturers take the issue of obesity and poor diets very seriously, and we know we have a key role to play in helping people to eat balanced diets. Our members continue to invest. You don't need a balanced diet. If a horse ate grains and then it switched to just eating grass, would that be extreme? Would a panda eating bamboo and then eating something else be extreme? No. Pandas eat bamboo. Horse is that how you say? Horses eat grass. Cows eat grass. Every single animal eats 1, maybe 2 foods mainly. Lions eat meat. Humans eat meat. So you don't need a balanced diet. Not a single animal in the world eats a balanced and varied diet because none of the animals have the correct digestive processes and certain enzymes and everything to break down so many different types of food. We just don't. We have the teeth to chew on meat, and we have this acidic stomach acid to break down the meat. We have the correct enzymes to break down meat. Same can't be said for vegetables. And
obviously the 300 chemicals in a burger.
Healthier products for shoppers. As a result, UK shopping baskets now contain significantly less salt, sugar and calories than they did a decade ago. Companies are also working to raise the
I would
fruit and
argue
vegetable
not. I would argue not. I'd say it's a lot worse now.
content of their products. It's of course up to government if they want to introduce new taxes or warning labels. However, taxes will push up the cost of food and could disincentivise ongoing investment in healthier products. We think there are more effective ways to encourage positive dietary change. On labelling, we believe the UK's traffic light system is a more positive way of nudging consumers towards healthier choices than warning labels, where global evidence suggests the longer-term impact is limited.
Yeah, but the traffic light system's wrong. Like, if I look at some meat, it's like red all over. But then if you look at, you know, like all those health bars that you literally just showed on here, all those like health snacks or whatever, here, all of these, they'll all have green on them. So the traffic light system is rubbish. We've just been raised on this terrible system that's wrong.
However, we would support a labelling review, including to test whether consistent positive labelling on all healthier products would help consumers. The Government Scientific Advisory Committee on Nutrition had said there's insufficient scientific evidence on the concept of ultra-processed foods for it to be used for dietary guidance or policy making, and that further research is needed. If research comes to light, the processing
research is needed. Just stop selling so much bad food. Like, obviously, this isn't going to change. Like, I don't know when this video was made. What was it made? Oh, it was only a year ago, actually. But it's not really going to change because companies just love money and people in power love money. So the way they're going to make money is by keep doing this.
People act quickly to change their
so
ingredients.
You're going to have to want to step up and change yourself. Well, that was not a bad video actually, but obviously it is the sugar company's fault, but it is your problem to fix. It's their fault, it's your problem to fix. That's the best way of explaining it. Now, if you have any questions, then just drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them, or you can go to my school community, which is also the first link in the description, and I talk way more about this in there. I've got like a ton of detailed guides that will help you, you know, stop eating all this terrible food, actual like actionable steps that you can follow to improve your health. And I've got things like gym guides in there and everything, optimizing your testosterone, your hormones, everything, it's all in there. And also I have this all-in-one fitness app that I'm developing. It's called Elite Labs. So you've got like a ton of different apps all in one, in this like one complete fitness app. And in my school community, you get access to that as well. So it's like a little juicy added bonus. So click the first link in the description to go over there. I will see you over there. Good night.